Welcome to another edition of Walton Entertainment. Today we'll have more news, information, and entertainment from your local hometown.
Hello Walton County, this is Kevin Little with the Chairman's Report on Walton Entertainment Channel 18.2. Today I'm coming to you in front of the historic courthouse in beautiful downtown Monroe. We've starting to set up for the fall season coming up here, and several fall festivals going to be going on throughout the county over the next several weeks. I want to talk to you a little bit about the 200th celebration. We're getting very close to the November 12th Veterans Memorial dedication out at the government building. They've set the big pillars out there, and they're working on the big medallions that'll be going on those. I went and visited Elberton last Friday. They've completed the marine one. It is really beautiful. It's going to be a burned in type of paint, and so it'll be there forever and ever. And so it's going to be something to really be proud of. So make sure you mark your calendars from November the 12th from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock out at the government building out in front at the site. Jody Heiss is going to be our keynote speaker. We have Mike Steele, who's with Black Hawk Downs, is going to be the military speaker. We got the Monroe High School band is going to play a melody, and retired Navy Captain Coleman Landers is going to do the national anthem for us. So we've got a great presentation out there, something for us all to be proud of that we'll have right here in Walton County because of our veterans that have worked hard to keep us free like we are today and continue to do that. On another note, we're winding down our paving for the year, and we're going back now on a lot of our paving projects, and we'll be building shoulders. And so if you do see a low shoulder somewhere, make sure you call Roads and Bridges and let them know, because they do cause accidents. We want you to be able to drop right off the road and drop back on and not have to be there. So accidents are something we're trying to prevent all along. Also, we are putting a roundabout at Youth Jersey and Broadnex Mills. There've been a lot of questions on roundabouts, and I think people are just generally concerned over those because they don't know about them. But that one was on all four legs, equal roads, and so it was the perfect ideal location for a roundabout, and it'll be up in the next 3 or 4 weeks, and so it'll help the traveling public move smoothly. Georgia DOT has they're starting to use them all over the state now. They're actually looking at putting one in 81 in Park Street, just up from Walnut Grove at 81 and 138. So got a lot of things going on as we get into the fall season. The election day is coming up. Make sure you get out and vote. This is the one opportunity you get to express your opinion, and so make sure you go vote on your candidates who you have selected. Don't let anybody tell you who to vote for. You make sure you do the research and go. That way you know what you're voting for. It's very important for Georgia as we go forward. We don't really have any on the local elections here. It's basically just the governor, lieutenant governor, and secretary of state that are up for election. And so make sure you get wise before that happens and get out and do your civic duty. Have a good fall, and I'll be back in touch with you again soon. Thank you.
Hi, welcome to Monroe Walton Center for the Arts. Right now in our gallery we have our photography show that will be here through about the 3rd week in October, so it's kind of a quick show. So come in and see some great photography from folks here in Walton County. Our weekly classes for adults and kids are still going on, of course, and we have some creative workshops coming up in the next couple of weeks. We've got a wire jewelry basics kind of metal smithing class, an etched pumpkin cut flower centerpiece you'll be able to use throughout the holiday season, and lots of flower arranging tips in that class from a professional flower arranger. Some bracelet and other jewelry classes as well. A collage class with Susan Pelham, and felted pumpkins, really cute little pumpkins. So lots of fall pumpkin themed crafts that we have going on in our classes. We also have a book club coming up. We have actually 2 book clubs. We have one for adults, and we have a young adult one. That one's new, starting this month, for ages 14 to about 18. And you can find all this information, the dates, pictures of examples of what we'll be doing. The end of the month, we also have a stacked pumpkin painting, kind of a what's and done 2-hour. You'll do the painting in 2 hours, and it's a lot of fun. And you can find all those on MonroeWaltonArts.org, or come in and say hi to us. We've always got these class lists available. We're always updating them because we're always adding new classes. Or you can give us a call at 770-207-8937. But the Young Adult Book Club is on Saturday the 20th, and then the Adult Book Club is on Tuesday the 22nd. So lots going on, writers, photographers, pottery, painting, all kinds of classes. So come by, see the gallery, check into our classes, and hope to see you soon. Thank you.
A grocery store and local business that has been a staple in this town for many years is building for the future. Soon there will be a new John's Supermarket right here in this location. We recently caught up with Greg Thompson so that he could tell us more about this construction and the future of John's Supermarket.
Well, we're basically doubling our store size and our floor size. We're going to have more fresh produce, more meat, more groceries, but the biggest thing and the exciting thing to me is we're putting in a restaurant, and we're going to be able to seat approximately 50 people. Everything that will be in the restaurant will be fresh made. There'll be no canned stuff, no preservatives. All the fresh produce will come in, and he'll take it right off the truck and prepare it for that day. So you can come in and you can get a meal, or you can order out and he'll have it plated up for you. Or either there'll be some items in a counter that you can come. If you want to actually bake the meal yourself, he'll have it all prepared in the raw state. You take it home and put it in the oven and you cook it. A whole lot cheaper than going out to a restaurant, but you don't have to clean the mess up in your kitchen when you're through. And he'll have several varieties. Right now he's making chicken Alfredo and meatloaf and stuff like that. Just kind of get folks used to what's coming here in the next 8 to 9 months or so. So it's exciting. It's something that Monroe has never seen before, has never had it before. You'll actually come in. If you like an adult beverage, you can get an adult beverage with your meal. We're not a bar, but we will offer a beer and wine selection with your meal, along with soft drinks and tea and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's going to appeal to a wide range of folks. That's basically where the trend of the grocery store is going. We're still your local grocer, but we can offer some stuff that some of the bigger stores can offer. Folks tend to go toward the prepared meals instead of cooking stuff at home. You know, time constraints on families now are just incredible, with baseball, football, after-school programs, dance classes. You're trying to spend that quality time with your child, so you know you don't want to spend 2 hours preparing a meal, then cooking it, then another 30 minutes after cleaning up. You miss a lot of time with your kids. Plus, some of the younger folks, they don't actually know how to cook. So, you know, it's kind of the best of both worlds. You can come in and get a home-cooked meal pretty much, and you can take it home and you can cook it, or you can have it cooked for you, and you still have that family time. We will definitely be open during construction. Thank you very much for asking that question. It's going to be probably 6 months of excuse our mess, please, while we expand. But we hope to break ground sometime in March or April. It's a 6 to 7 month process, and by this time next year, we'll all be shopping in the new store. And we're also offering, we're going to build 6 apartments above the new grocery store. So it goes along with the city's theme that, you know, we worked on for a long time, to live, work, and play in the city of Monroe. So you can live above the store, you'll have a grocery store, you're within walking distance of downtown shopping, you're within walking distance of 2 parks here in the city of Monroe. And it's just a great avenue for those millennials that want to walk wherever they go, and you know they want to downsize and maybe only have 1 car instead of 2. And if they work in the city of Monroe, you can definitely live here, work here, and eat here.
Hey, we're about to show you some of the dogs and cats that are available for adoption here at Walton County Animal Control. We are located right behind the Sheriff's Department on South Madison Avenue. You can come by in the afternoons from 2 to 4:30 to have a look at all the dogs and cats that are here. But you know, right now it's one of those weeks where it seems like every dog in the shelter is a pit bull. We've got 12 dogs and 9 of them are pit bulls. There's way too many of them out there, and so few get rescued, so few get adopted. Maybe you're one of those that has a great pit bull as a pet. Make sure that you get her spayed. Make sure you get him neutered, because we just don't need any more. It's so difficult to find them new homes. Paradox Spay Neuter Clinic does free pit bull spays for Walton County residents. That's free pit bull spays. No need to breed the dog and have puppies that aren't wanted. You can see them on their website. It's paradoxspayneuter.com. or you can give them a call at 770-972-5067. Again, this is the Fix-A-Bull program. They do vaccine clinics that raises the funds for this, and it's absolutely free for pit bull owners to get them fixed. Again, we just don't need more pit bulls here in the shelter, and it's so hard to find them new homes. So do what's right and get your pit bull spayed or neutered. Now we're going to show you some of those dogs that are here at the shelter.
Here we have Eli. He's a neutered male. He's about 5-6 years old. He's like a rot mix. He's heartworm negative. He doesn't seem to mind other dogs.
Oh, we have like a 2-year-old female mixed breed here. She's very sweet, very loving. She just needs a good place to be able to run. Not good fenced in yard would be good for her. Lots of energy, really good, make somebody a really good pet. She is not spayed, so you have to get her spayed. So, this is her.
This is a pit. It's a male. He's about 9 months old. His name is Aries. He's neutered. He gets along with dogs, gets along with chickens. The owner was not sure how he was with cats. He's got lots of energy.
Hey, I'm Isaac with Reboot Computer Company, and we're going to give you the Reboot Tech Tip this week. Just wanted to talk about 2 things, really. The first thing I want to talk about is new technology, or at least a part of new technology, which is artificial intelligence. I know it's kind of scary, and we've all watched all the movies, you know, about artificial intelligence, especially like the Terminator movies and all that stuff, where the artificial intelligence takes over and all that. And I'll be honest with you, I'm a little fearful about it too. But I will say there's a lot of artificial intelligence in the internet today, about creating algorithms for like Google search and Amazon search, and just all kind of programs out there that are incorporating artificial intelligence in them to give us better services. So whether you want it or not, it's already here. But again, it's a little scary. I'm hoping that that whole Terminator thing doesn't come to fruition. That would be a little crazy. But anyway, so that's going to be more and more popular here in the future. It's just coming, and I'm guessing eventually, we will have little robot helpers and stuff like that have artificial intelligence in them and things. So I'm pretty sure I'll see that type of thing in my lifetime. They've already created some robots that have some AI in it, just nothing real elaborate. But anyway, so just keep your eyes and ears open for that. It's not dangerous, at least so we think at this point, thank God. But so anyway, now that I've scared you, I'm going to talk about it a little bit about stuff like that kind of being in your home. I guess one of the things that people have kind of seen these days is smart houses. I've actually got a little bit of that stuff kind of going on at my house. I've got one of those Amazon Echoes, or they call it Alexa. And so I can walk into my house and say, hey, Alexa, turn on the lights, or hey, Alexa, put Netflix on my TV. And she will. She says okay, and the lamp comes on, and the TV goes to Netflix, and then I can tell her to put on whatever show I want to watch, and it'll come up on the TV. And so it's not just an Amazon device or an Alexa device. The thing that the lamp plugs into is actually a smart device. The TV has got a Amazon Fire TV box hooked to it, so they Alexa and the TV can talk to each other. There's the thermostats these days, like the Nest thermostat, or Honeywell makes one. They're all smart devices, so you can control them from your phone. You can set schedules and all that stuff. So, really some of the benefits to these type things is, especially like with the thermostat, if I'm not home, I can set it to a schedule and it'll come on 15-20 minutes before I get there. Or if I'm on the way home and I want my house to be at a certain temperature, I tell it, or I go into my phone, or I can tell it, depends on the phone, hey, set my house to 74 degrees, and by the time I get there it's at 74 degrees. It also helps my heating and cooling bill. The other thing too is I can set it to like 85 while I'm on vacation, and I can set my light to come on at night while I'm on vacation, or my TV to come on, for an hour while I'm on vacation, so people think that there's actually somebody there. So there's lots of benefits to these things. The Amazon device is actually what's called a cloud device, so it's storage and what it does and everything, it works off the internet. So that Amazon device has actually got to be hooked to the internet at all times, otherwise it won't function. But I can load my music on there, or if you have Amazon Prime, then it automatically will pull in all the Prime music. So if I want to listen to gospel music, I just say, hey Alexa, play gospel music, and she'll play gospel music until I tell her to stop, like all day, all night. I can tell her to turn the volume up and down, all that stuff. So there's some huge benefits to these devices. Some people are still kind of scared of the cloud and all that stuff, and I tell everybody all the time, look, if you're hooked to the internet, you can get in trouble. That's just a fact of life these days. I will say that it's extremely rare that some hacker is going to come after somebody like you or me just because we're not rich, we're not a big corporation. And if they get a hold of our bank account, they're not getting a whole lot of money, so it's not really worth it for them to spend hours and hours on somebody like me and you. So it's for the most part, it's safe, and it can, benefit us. All these smart devices can actually benefit us in our homes, our cars, all that stuff. So don't be scared of it. Is the tip for the week. Keep it in mind if you need some help setting that stuff up. So your local IT guy, they can help you out. It can be a little complicated, but that's it for this week. And I'm Isaac with Reboot, giving you the Reboot Tech Tip.
Hello, my name is Cassandra Hainsworth, and I am the Walton County 4-H agent. Walton County 4-H provides hands-on learning through the areas of science and technology, agricultural and extension education, healthy living, as well as citizenship and leadership. This month and during the month of October and November, we have a lot of activities that are going on for the youth here in Walton County. As always, we are doing 5th grade programming, so we go into every 5th grade class within the Walton County School District, as well as Social Circle City Schools and George Walton 5th grade classes. We also do after-school programs at all of our middle schools within the Walton County School District, as well as Social Circle Middle School. Our high school students have an opportunity to participate in our county council, which is actually open to students who are in 7th grade through 12th grade. We also have our shooting sports program, which is archery, air rifle, BB, and shotgun. All of those areas are available for our students and typically start at 4th grade, 4th through 8th grade for our BB program, 4th through 12th grade for our archery program, and then 7th through 12th grade for our air rifle and our shotgun program. So those are all opportunities that are available for your youth to get involved in if they would like to. We also have a consumer judging team that is currently meeting. That is an opportunity for your youth to learn about being healthy consumers and to learn about placing products, and also get a chance to learn a little more about cotton, which is one of Georgia's highest producing crops. So that's an opportunity for your youth. We meet every Tuesday here at the office. Our horse club meets the second Monday of each month at 7 o'clock, and our goat club meets the last Tuesday of each month at 6:30. So if you would like for your youth to get involved in any of those animal related clubs, they don't have to have the animal for them to get involved in that. So that's an opportunity for them to come and learn more about taking care of those animals and learning more about some of the issues that are related to them as well. We also want to wish good luck to our Goat Club team. 6 of our Goat Club members are actually headed down to Perry, Georgia today to compete in the Georgia National Fair. They'll be competing tomorrow and Saturday, so we want to wish good luck to them as they get ready to show their goats down at the Georgia National Fair. Our BB team will also be set up right outside of our office next Saturday on October 13th during the Monroe Fall Festival. So if your youth are interested in getting involved in BB and they want to learn a little bit more about what they're going to be doing for this year, that's a great opportunity for you to bring your kids out to learn more about that. And like I said, they'll be set up right here outside of our office on October 13th. We also have a club that we just started this year. It's a Walton County Community Club. It is for K through 6th grade students. So that's an opportunity for your youth to come out and learn more about 4-H, some of the opportunities that we have available for them, and to get them involved in some of the activities that are taking place outside of our school program. So if you would like to get more information about any of the clubs that we have going on, feel free to contact our office. We're located at 100 North Broad Street right here in downtown Monroe. You can also call our office at 770-267-1324. We look forward to hearing from you soon. Thanks.
My name is John Howard, and I'm the mayor of Monroe, and I'm pleased to be here, and thank you for having me. Generally, the way when I talk to groups, I try to cover a couple of different things: where we're standing with infrastructure, where we stand with our businesses downtown, some upcoming events. Today, first we can start with public safety. Keith Glass announced his retirement last month, and Keith served Monroe for 25 years. He was the chief for 16. The chief's a good man from a very good family, friends with his sweet wife Kathy and their girls, known him forever, and just can't say enough about him. The last 4 or 5 or maybe even 6 years, the chief was the director of public safety, and he was overseeing the grooming of R.B. Watts as the chief of police. R.B. was the assistant at the time. And then we have our fire chief, Bill Owens, and he oversaw things with the fire department, just as a matter of public safety. So chief is retired, R.B. is now the interim chief, and Bill is the interim chief for the fire department. We will advertise both of those internally later this year, and I would expect them to have the interim labels removed right at January 1st. So very professional organizations, and we're moving right now from a town that makes decisions based on who you know, and that's just historically how things are done in small towns, to having a rapidly growing tax base, to having a housing market that is just on fire, to having 100% full capacity downtown, to having industries coming into Stanton Springs and Piedmont industrial parks. So a lot of jobs are being created, a lot of people are moving in, and it's just a really, really good time to be in Monroe. Talking a little bit about downtown, I said we're 100% full. We do have a couple of buildings that are not open yet, but they are spoken for, and construction began today at Southland Broad, which is one of our new upcoming restaurants. They'll have craft cocktails named after Southern authors, and it's a really neat concept that Adam Bailey and David Dickinson have come up with. Ross Bradley will be opening Your Pie in November, so we're excited about that. Ross and Andrew are also doing Silver Queen, that is right off Wayne Street. And then we have Local Republic in Gwinnett County in Lawrenceville that's opening LR Burgers, which is right over behind the courthouse too. So we're expanding our downtown from Broad Street to a block in either direction. And we have the livery stables that have just recently opened, and they are actually in the process of redoing one of those other livery stable buildings too. So I don't know exactly, I don't know exactly what they're going to do there. It's either going to be a special event center or it's going to be another business, and there's one that's really knocking on the door. So we're going to leave that up to Rick and Krista to determine which way they want to head with that. So I'm moving through town, and then we get to our brewery, Major Humphreys. They will be opening. They've gone through all the licensing. They're working with the Department of Safety. They're working with the developer and the builders, and construction is happening over there. And the way we did that, the city bought the property on Madison, Davis, and Church, the big green space area. That will be our future downtown green. Immediately after we made that purchase, we went under contract with Melvin Music and JT Anderson as the developers of the property, where Major Humphreys will have their brewery. So we're moving our downtown out and expanding our entertainment area quite a bit too. I know that you probably all know now, our downtown concerts moved back to the courthouse square this year, and due to Grace Reynolds, who's just wonderful. She got after Kevin, but she had a lot of folks who support her. You know, we had Nancy Drew come to town. They used the courthouse lawn. You've seen the courthouse lawn can handle it, and Kevin gave in and allowed us to do that. So we moved the concerts back there, and that's great. Increase in business downtown did of about 50% on concert nights at the courthouse. Just by moving them around to the side on Court Street, it becomes a little more of a hassle. People park back, not by the post office, and they don't go down to our restaurants downtown. So we've seen a definite economic benefit for moving it back to the courthouse. Now the good news is, that was great. And the other good news is, we now have a downtown green that we're working on. And when I say we're working on it, we're just really taking out the poles from the paintball court, and we've just kind of spruced it up a little bit with some landscaping. But down the road, over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, we'll be looking at some SPLOST dollars that go in to really fix up that park. That's cool. The brewery's cool. But now what Andy Malcolm has done with his building is an entertainment center right along that area where there is an antique store and there is also some storage. We have some other restaurants that are interested in coming there too. So we are going to be well fed, and that's just great. Moving along to Pollock subdivision, the neighborhood that I grew up in, they've really done well and taken it upon themselves, and I appreciate it, to request additional code enforcement. Now, what we did, my first week on the job, I got a love note from the city that said one of my properties, or maybe my only property, I don't know much, was in code violation. I've been trying to tear it down for years, having some issues finally getting that done, and it's coming down this week. But what I realized when I called, I said, okay, I got this love note from you that I need to do something about bringing these up to code. But I can stand on the front porch and point to 15 other houses, and it's just what we all do. We all deflect a little bit. Why don't they have them? And was told, well, we had a complaint on yours, and we went and looked at yours, and it was clear violation of code, and you have to fix it. Well, yeah, that's right, I did, but we can't do selective enforcement anymore. Legally, it's not, and we don't have a leg to stand on. So, got with Logan and got with our team in code and said, look, let's go out, we're going to hit this city very, very hard. The cleaner the city, the more brought up to date on our codes, the more your property values go up, the happier everybody is. And you can actually see it in the people right now. We're in a good spot. Clay and Patrick have gone out and really hit code enforcement very hard in neighborhoods, starting in Pollock, because they requested it. And you can see the properties over there just really taking shape. We've got a really, really good thing going, which turns me to our schools. Speaking of good things going, been spending some time at Monroe, of course, and at George Walton. Spent some time at Carver with Alan Satterfield. The schools that have always held Monroe back a little bit, in my opinion, and something has changed. They've got a very, very good spirit, and I was talking to Eli Cannell, who was athletic director of the year at Monroe area, at the state athletic director of the year, and the message kind of goes like this: winning cures a lot of ills. Go to a ball game, see the students, see how they interact with the adults. Completely different when they're winning, and now they are. So Monroe's in a very good spot. I touch on when I go to see folks, and we want you to please understand that there are a lot of people that have worked a lot of years, from Knox Bell and David Dickinson and Harry Knight and Greg Thompson and multiple city councils that have gotten Monroe to where we are right now. We have just signed on our first retail development with a nationally branded commercial anchor grocery store. I'll just tell you, it's one of the big three: Ingles, Kroger, or Publix. This particular developer will tell us exactly who that is, and we'll probably know something in 6 to 9 months, but we can rest safe in knowing that it's coming. The good news is it's coming. Unfortunately, at this particular moment, it's not here. So be patient with us. We got a lot of things going on. We have land acquisition going on right now for the truck route, which will alleviate some of our traffic downtown. I get scared to death in town every day. We have kids running back and forth. Scoops is there. Scoops is doing a bang-up job, and we all like ice cream. Just worried that some child's pulling away from a mom, and it is a constant worry. So, with the truck route coming and the grocery store opening, both will alleviate traffic from right downtown, the quiet downtown, and we're looking at construction starting on the truck route in the next 18 months. We'll also be looking at the first phase of the grocery store development. Will be starting in the next year. So they should open within a few months of each other. So you see a huge change in what you have downtown. You should see a huge change in truck traffic. So a lot of good news. Do I have any questions at the moment? Come on. How long, excuse my television asking this question to the audience, how long have you been in Monroe? Whole life? 20?
30 years.
30? 11. Okay. I've been here, I'm 48, so 47 years ago, my folks brought me to Monroe. Spent some time in Florida for about 10 years, and then I've been back for about 10. So, when I was a kid, played ball at the rec center, did, scouts and 4-H and all kinds of city stuff, and rode bikes all over town, and it was great. And I remember the day that Hardee's opened, and I remember the day that McDonald's opened in town. I remember the day that Captain D's opened. The traffic jam that we just take as day to day now. We're constantly working on traffic. With those infrastructure projects, what we've allocated 70% of our dollars from this next SPLOST to go to transportation. The other 30% will go to parks. DOT says Walton County needs $140 million worth of work. DOT's also said we're not going to get $140 million. So what we're trying to do is move folks through Monroe, to Monroe, and out of Monroe as quickly, efficiently, and safely as possible. Now, what that does, we're looking at making a loop coming out of Walmart Home Depot area back on 78, so you no longer have to wait at that light for the left turn to make the left turn to get on the highway. That will alleviate a lot of congestion right there. We're also looking at doing another road just as you're coming down 138 that will cut to the right before you get up to that congested intersection. It'll open up some of that area for development, but it'll also safely get especially high school kids, because that's an area that we have a lot of kids coming from Newton County and Rockdale County that come to George Walton every morning. So they'll get them out of that decision-making area that really is what scares us to death. First time my daughter drove, put her on 78, and my wife said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, you're on 78. You don't have any decisions to make. Keep it between the lines. When you're in the middle of downtown, you're on Spring Street, you have from Breedlove Drive to Subway 11 points of ingress and egress on the right, and then you have 6 on the left. So cars are cutting across the road all day long. I don't want my teenager there. I want my teenager to avoid that area. It's kind of like a UPS driver. They say always take rights, because anytime you take a left, you're putting your life in your hands. And we want to keep our folks safe. Okay, questions? I mean, I can do a song and dance if you like.
How long will it take to do the bypass?
The good news about the bypass, When you put in a new road, you don't have to deal with stopping traffic. So it's something that's probably going to run about a year. On the other hand, if you are adding a lane to an existing road that's going to be, I can't tell you the distance on it, I'm sorry, but let's say 5 miles, that can take you 4 years because you're constantly having to move barrels and stop traffic. This, we don't have to worry with that. We're just going to put the road in and then we're going to open it and go.
The sidewalk is going down Spring, that's not our project at all, right?
Okay, the sidewalk going down Spring, it is our project. We have, I think, state dollars, it might be federal dollars on the Broad Street sidewalk project. The Spring Street sidewalk project has half the lights, and we've scaled it back just a little bit, but it follows that same pattern as Broad Street did. The reason that's gone over forever is because the original plan was to have him out of here by September 1st. And he was going to have a nice bonus if he had gotten that done. When he got started, he said, "We're great." Well, then we lost 60 days over a course of 80 days. 60 of them were rained out. And it's not that it was just the rain, it was the rain and the 2 or 3 days behind it that seemed dry. You couldn't get through that mud. I mean, we had passed compaction tests, and it rained and it just washed all that stuff away. So they had to redo a lot there. The project has been slow, but you're really going to like what you see. And hopefully you already do. I mean, there's a lot of that's complete. We'll have the lights going up next and then the trees going up after that. So I would like to get that finished in the next 6 to 8 weeks. But that's a lot longer than the planned last month. But then Broad Street, and I want you to understand, we have twice the traffic on Broad Street coming in out of the Winder 316 area. A lot of points of ingress and egress there, and that is going to be a mess. So I would recommend, if you can do anything to avoid that particular area, go another route.
That was my route when I was boarding Spring Street. That's what's going on.
Well, come back to Spring for a little bit. Yeah, you'll be pleased with how that goes. We have over the next several years, and Matthew Chancey was the previous city administrator who left to work for Municipal Electric Authority of Georgia, and he is in Thomasville now. But right before he left, he and I were talking. He said, "John, you're just not going to recognize this place in 10 years. We're just getting ready to pop." I had a hotel yesterday call me. It's planning on coming. We're planning on coming to a site that's on that 138-78 corridor, that area, and they're ready to sign a letter of intent. With that, we're looking at some townhouses that are coming with that same development, and that's a development that hasn't even been officially announced yet. We have talked to Mary Woodson-Felker and Stephen. They're running another planned community that's going from Broad Street that will come out all the way on the backside of Alcovia, coming toward the country club. So a lot of things in the hopper. We've had 500 homes that we've approved for development in the last 6 months. As a matter of fact, we put a moratorium on that particular zoning class because we want to make sure that we have one shot to get it right. We don't want to be mass congestion, but we do understand that we need some density. So if you want to put in a development with 250 homes, we want you to put it in, but you have to follow some pretty strict guidelines on how you're going to get those folks in and out and around, and how you're going to affect our school system too.
You mentioned DOT, Monroe, Walton County as a whole, is any of the work out on 78 westbound coming down Spring Street, is that?
That's DOT, where they're clearing the
Yeah.
trees, that's DOT.
Okay.
Not,
Nothing to do with the city?
not a real good time to be timbering. It looks great.
Yeah.
You know, the price of timber is through the floor right now.
Well, they seem to be mulching everything.
That's great. It looks beautiful. I don't want them to, like that done in my house.
It just looks good coming in that direction.
Yeah. I like it when Mrs. Howard's happy.
Yeah.
She thought it looked good, so I'm good. Gentlemen, come on.
What's the time frame on the Broad Street sidewalk?
The Broad Street sidewalk, well, you'll see the barrels out now. They're turning dirt. We have a different schedule with them because we have two people that we're getting the project ready and then it's being done by this particular contractor. And I can't tell you because I don't know exactly when they're going to start pouring. I would just say, look, for the next year, you're going to see some major infrastructure improvements when it comes to our sidewalks and lighting. Then you're going to see some major development work coming with, Deer Acres is looking at doing something out there. And I've not seen their plans. I just know that that's in the works. Yes, sir.
Walmart distribution center trucks, 18-wheeler.
Yes, sir.
Come down Church Street.
Right. And that's supposed to be no trucks.
That's what?
It's supposed to be no trucks. They're supposed to hit and go left to Madison or come out 78. Right. And I do know that we've started ticketing them. I don't know how hard that enforcement has been in place, but I do know over the last few weeks we've hit the ticketing pretty hard.
I encountered one today. And almost every time I go into town, there's one on Church Street. And when they get up to that stoplight at Broad Street, there at the Edward Jones intersection.
It's a tough turn.
Boy, I've been there when they're trying to turn both ways. And people have to back up or move over.
Right.
Well, from Broad Street on to Church or Church on to Broad.
I don't know the max value on a ticket. When you can ticket somebody for driving on a truck-free zone, I would like to hit them pretty hard because $50 is nothing. But you hit somebody with a $1,000 fine, they might think twice.
How about conversation with management?
Excuse me?
How about conversation with management to deter them?
Well, what happens is we can do that, and we've talked with Walmart and we've talked with Hitachi, but you have a lot of private contractor drivers, and that's I don't know that you see a lot of logoed Walmart coming with logoed Walmart drivers because I think Walmart's transportation system's done by a different carrier.
I've not seen any with the logo, Walmart logo
Right.
that I can remember.
They're private carriers, so that's something to think about. Paul, do you have anything?
What about taking down the mimosas at Spring and 138 and making another lane in there for turning?
Let me get where I am.
Crepe Myrtle.
Okay, the Crepe Myrtles.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about mimosas that Alexis Burton has for $2 on Sundays at Cotton Cafe. Okay, there are two things about that. One, the initial plan over the last 6-8 months has been make an additional lane going toward Walmart to open that up, which would in turn open up that turn lane. I got in it twice today going to UPS. That I'm stuck in traffic. I could see the light change, but I couldn't get to it. We could take out a couple of those. I do know that we have some stuff running, some infrastructure that runs under the road that they're concerned about. I also know that DOT has now said that they are going to rework that entire intersection. It's not going to be as quick. It's not going to be as fast-paced as is just restripe another lane and go in, because we did have the space for that. But they said they want to redo it, and they want to do it right. So I think we're probably looking at 18 months for completion on that. I'm going to say completion. I mean, it might be 18 months before they start, but now it's in DOT's hands. And this is one of the things that is difficult when you look at infrastructure and road projects. You look at Broad Street, state road, Spring Street, also a state road. Timing of lights is done by the state, and we've asked and we've begged, and Chief Glass has been on the phone with his team, and now RV's going to get that ball and run with it. I try to never hit a crosswalk button. I know the light's going to turn sometime. I can wait an extra couple minutes. What happens when you hit that crosswalk, it throws off your timer. Now it does reset, and I don't know if it resets hourly, every 6 hours, but when that crosswalk button is hit, it doesn't affect all lights in town. It affects that one, which then does affect or impact all those other lights too. So,
have you heard anything?
Excuse me?
Have you heard anything about the widening of 138?
I have heard about the widening of 138, and I can't really speak on it. A friend of mine is with E.R. Snell, and he said that project is in the hopper. I think one of the difficult things they have on widening 138 is the bridge that goes over the creek on the way out of town. So, in an ideal world, in my opinion, would be a huge traffic circle at Spring, 138, and 78 Charlotte Route connector. But what you would find out is, okay, you finally got them out of here and you got them through it, but then they get to HD8 and you just can't get through that light several times a day. So until we can make them all work together, our fingers are going to be
I heard they were 4-laning it where it ends Conyers or Big County Line or whatever, bring it all the way to 78.
I've heard that, but I don't have anything official on it. I'd love to say yes. It would make my job easier. Now, one thing I do want you to know, and I'm available anytime anybody needs anything. I'm more than happy to be our cheerleader. I'm more than happy to tell you all the good things that are happening in Monroe. And sometimes I'll have to share some bad things too. But we're just in a really, really good place. And Logan Probst is our city administrator. Chris Bailey is our director of central services. Brian Thompson's electric and telecom. Rodney Middlebrooks handles all of our water. And it's funny, Brian electric and telecom I think kind of gets the buzz, but if Rodney makes a mistake with our water department, we could all die. I mean, that guy is that valuable to us. So we are very lucky with our department heads. Beth Thompson's fantastic, our new planning and development director. Daryl Stone is going to be very good on working with the DOT on projects like the truck route, working with Lee Rowell on Charlotte Route Boulevard and how we handle development in that area. I got a new development that's coming that's looking at donating some property for a park, so how we would handle the park projects. So we have a lot of things on go. The cool part about it is, as long as y'all stay in touch with me, I can be the face and let them do their jobs. I'm great. I will tell you they are the absolute best. I will also tell you that please bother me. I don't want them being bothered. They got stuff they have to do. Monroe's in a great spot, and I'm happy to be here. And if something comes up, please let me know.
And of course, with any gathering, you need a little food. And they have the food trucks here. this corner is the laser tag. And a lot of the kids are enjoying the laser tag, and it's in the big black blow-up building. As you can see there in the background, I'll zoom in a little bit here, but that's where they're doing the laser tag. So definitely there's been something here today for everybody. I'm not kidding how young, short, old or tall, there has been something for everybody here. Saturday, October the 13th, downtown Monroe.
Where do you come alive? A stadium, lecture hall, a music hall, church potluck? This year, you have a new spot, walkgeorgia.org, a free website that provides you with all the resources needed to get your heart rate up and body out in your community. Sign up and receive individual or group fitness tracking, fitness demos by certified trainers, recipes, and a guide to resources in your Georgia County, all in one easy-to-use site. When you move more, you live more. walkgeorgia.org.